Don't worry about it.
So on the first day I cried and I told my staff, we are going to be legendary. So
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Brick Mortar Cloud podcast. Podcast brought to you by Staffany and produced by Nick Chan. Today, we are proud to have Chief Bapak Officer of the House of Brands, Noorman Mubarak.
hi everyone, pleasure to be here and thank you for inviting me to be here, Janson and Staffany.
Awesome. So Noorman, maybe you can give a quick introduction about yourself, about your life, and how do you get started into the F&B industry?
Okay, my name is Noorman Mubarak. I'm 44 years old today. This year, not today. We started, our brand started, Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang started in 2017. But before that, prior to that, we've always been a hawker family. So my grandparents were hawker, my parents were hawker, and naturally, the kids were helping out in the stalls. Early on, I think it's kind of a natural progression for kids to help out their parents in the hawker center store. So we started at about, we started at about 8 years old. We started to assist my parents in the store, wake up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., which is a normal life for us. So we didn't know that was hardship. I've been helping my dad for over the years, over a decade. And my wife was cooking this really good Ayam Taliwang, and we decided to merge these two, fuse it, let people taste it, and they say, oh, it's nice,
Good
okay,
combination,
it's good,
right?
it's a good combo, and yeah.
Right. So it's like a homecoming, right?
It is, and we started our first stall in 2017 September in Yishun Park Hawker Centre.
Wow, 2017 Yishun Park, and now about 20 outlets island-wide. That's a journey so far.
It is. It's quite a crazy ride for us. In between there's COVID, and all that. It's wow.
Yeah.
That was tough times. We struggled. We nearly want to fail, but we pulled through.
Awesome. What is the vision for this House of Brands, and what's the vision for Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang?
When we started, we have this one mission. In Islam, it's called a niyat, or in Malay niyat. Means it's a wish or a mission for me. I want to help people.
Yes.
So we didn't come from a well-to-do family. My uncles or my parents, we were poor, and my uncles were the one who assisted my family when I was younger. When my parents went out to work, my uncles are the one who take care of us.
Right.
But they themselves are poor.
Right.
You see, but they are giving.
Yes.
So when I started this outlet, I told myself, let me employ my uncles, give them better pay, and we elevate them out of, in a way, like poverty, kind of things. That was our mission from day one. As we grow, we realize there are also other people who are poor, right? And just nice 2017, 18, 19, then we employed people who are homeless before, people who came out from prison, the Yellow Ribbon Project, before we done that, or single mothers, single parents, with 1 kid, 2 kids, even there's one with 8 kids, even people who just find it hard to survive, So during the parent part where we see this was during the COVID.
I see.
There's so many people who just became homeless, no jobs, cannot survive. So we get to help these people. That's the main focus of our Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang. Okay, going forward, as we grow, of course, it has to be more structured. We wanted to be, or we want, and it's still ongoing, we want to be the number 1 Nasi Lemak brand in Singapore and going forward in the world.
We need to go to
major goal then.
Right. We need to go out of Singapore.
We
bring
have
our
to.
flag high.
We have to go. I feel that people are very skeptical about food in Singapore, except for, of course, our so-called national dish is chicken rice, chicken rice. But Nasi Lemak also has its place in Singapore as one of the best.
Right.
And I believe so. I highly believe so, because we have a lot of brands that are legendary. And I may say so, and I look up to them. Brands like Selera Rasa from Adam Road, Buling Nasi Lemak, Kumpul Nasi Lemak, Chompang Nasi Lemak. These are brands who
institutional
legacy, and I feel that they are my mentors. They've done it already. What we need to do is just take the next step and
bring it out
and go out.
That's awesome.
So that's our vision for now.
So Noorman, I heard that also whenever we dine at your Nasi Lemak shop, we can always have extra rice
Yeah.
for free.
In our original Nasi Lemak stall in Yishun Park Hawker Centre, extra rice is free, extra sambal is free.
Wow.
That's one of our ways to, of course, entice customers to come lah.
Pay
That's
forward
the,
also.
that's the only stall. The rest of the stalls, because it's more of a
I see.
corporate thing, right? So everything there's a cost to it.
Right.
We have landlords who actually take care of all the costings and all this on all the prices.
Right.
So we're not allowed to do that.
I see.
Yeah, but in our own stalls in hawker centres, yeah, of course, why not?
Super awesome.
Especially if you're nice, no, I can give you even an extra chicken wing, a hot dog, a fish cake, or otah. Just say please.
That's also a part of giving and also
Yes.
taking care of the people around you in the community, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So this journey of going up to 20 plus shops and collaborating with other legendary, I would say brands like Warung Pak Safari is also very legendary. In my opinion, one of the best mee sotos in Singapore. How did you manage to collaborate and work with so many amazing people? What was that strategy that allowed you to, connect and not everybody can work with everybody, right?
Sure,
so how do you manage to do that? Yeah.
Okay, before this, I was doing everything on my own, on our own, me and my wife. Up to the 10th stall back in 2000, now it's 23, 22, even last year, just a short last year, one of my suppliers, Alex from Simple Food Solutions, I don't know whether you know of him, introduced me to, back then was the COO of Old Town White Coffee. Dennis.
Yeah,
Dennis.
also legendary fellow in the FNBC.
Yes, he is. He's been around. He knows a lot of people know him. So he was invited to our stall in Yishun Park Hawker Centre, and he already knew of our brand, and I was like, wow, honored that he knows our brand. And we came to chatting, and Dennis has a vision of having a house of brands, a house of quality brands that we get together, support each other, and we grow together.
Right.
So talks become visualization. Visualization becomes a plan, and the plan became a reality. We got together, created a holding company called House of Brands, and we got to talking to several brands, quality brands, heritage brands, Michelin recommended brands, and one of them happened to be Warung Pak Safari. So we had a few meetings with the founder Sumadi, and we shared our vision, and he's aligned to our vision, and that's when we decided to work together.
Awesome. So what is that business model that you are doing that may be different from other brands? Like what's that unique thing that maybe you are doing differently compared to opening a shop by yourself, opening your own mee soto by yourself, or opening something by yourself? What is that strategy that you have that is different as a house of brand?
As a strategy, what we wanted was firstly quality, and secondly the owner or the founder has to have this vision that is aligned with us, and that is to duplicate their stalls and to maintain the quality and
To
scale.
scale.
So that first must be aligned. There's so many different. I mean, there's a lot of companies that sign up to Staffany.
Right.
They're very different. Some just want one stall,
Correct.
some want 10 restaurants.
That's right.
Some want to duplicate to other brands or conceptualize to other kind of activities. Okay, so for us, we want to mass scale it so that everybody can taste the heritage food.
Yes.
Okay. Some of the benchmarks that we have, they have to be Michelin recommended, and then their food has to be able to be duplicated,
Right.
and preferably if they have a central kitchen,
Right.
so it's easier for us to scale up.
Yes.
So these are three of the main things that we look out for.
That's right, and that's I think one of the main reason why you guys are managing to grow so fast, because scalability as well as the willingness to grow at that tempo, having the infrastructure like central kitchen and all is very, very important.
That's very important.
Awesome. So that's a very successful expansion story that we have last few months, I would say, announced officially. Would you share kindly maybe one tougher story? I think our audience here talk about F&B. Always people say F&B is so difficult. I think you have a lot of battle scars as well. Maybe some failures or painful lessons. Is there one that you could share with our listeners today?
Prior to doing Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang, right, and after I got married in 2011, while I was still an offshore engineer, I had some savings. and I was thinking of what business to do. My wife is Indonesian, right? So when we visited Jakarta, I saw an opportunity to for a salon, for a hair salon, And I thought, okay, we have someone who showed us his shop, and it's quite successful. I can see physically, and he wanted to franchise the brand. So we actually signed an agreement to franchise the brand. We rented a whole shop house, 3-story. Invested in about, I think, $80,000 to do up everything. But the lesson is, if you want to do a business, you have to be there, and you have to indulge yourself with the business, not put in the money and then go off and then expect someone else to run it. Most probably you will not be successful. So that's what happened to us. I let the business run with my partner. And I went back to Singapore and I just get maybe weekly updates or monthly updates. But I didn't know the reality of the business. The reality of business is he's also not there. He let his people run the show. He gave me maybe some numbers that will make me look happy. But when the time comes for me to ask for the returns, I don't have it. So after 1 year, we closed down. I forced him to sell the business. We got back maybe about 15% of our capital.
That's painful.
Just suck it up and take it as a very expensive lesson. From then on, I make sure if there's a business that I want to go in, I'm fully into the business. Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang is one of them.
I see.
Yeah.
So this actually struck a chord with me because for Staffany as well, we also went through a lot of these kind of difficulties where we have to commit, and that was our story of me spending 80% of my time in Jakarta the last 9 months ago. And that's why maybe I haven't met you that often, and my co-founder Eugene. But I think one of the other learning over here, if I would also crystallize to our listeners, is that if you go into a business, we need to go in knowing what's it about and managing it instead of at one end, just leaving it at the side and hoping that something will happen. We need to put in the effort.
True, right? Very true.
And the second learning that I think you shared is also cut our losses. I think your time as an entrepreneur is very important. You managed to make the painful decision. To cut loss at 1 year. Imagine putting in more money and not working out and taking more time. Then that will actually delay the birth of actually Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang, right? So a really good learning and good lessons about that. So maybe over here, there's a lot of people in Singapore that always have an ambition to join the food and beverage industry, to start their own business, and some of them starting already, and then always when you start, there's always all the struggles and stuff, right? What are some guidance or advice or stuff that you would wish you told yourself when you first started? Because I believe that when first year you start with your wife, there's going to be so many problems that you face, right? So what would you have told yourself when you first started this business?
It's the difference with let's say someone who wants to start an F&B business with, let's say someone like me, is that I did have prior experience. Even though the business is not my own business, it's my parents' business, I was into the business. So I actually know the pains of the business. But if I was, on hindsight, if I look back, what we need to know if we want to go into a F&B business, right, is the long hours.
Long hours, yeah.
Long hours, 14 hours is a normal day for us. When we start, 14, 16 hours, even 18 hours. And doing things yourself.
Right.
You will realize that not a lot of people, or maybe 80-90% of people, will not join you in doing the things that you want to do. Right? For staff, it's usually 10 hours or 8 hours.
8 hours. Yeah.
And I'm off.
Yes.
Okay, you do what you need to do.
It's not OT. And OT is very expensive in Singapore.
So you don't expect people to work for free, you see. So you have to do it yourself, cooking sambal at 1 a.m, waking up at 5 a.m to start this. So it's important to manage your expectations. Yeah. Some takes 6 months, succeed. Some takes 2 years, some takes 5 years. So it's not about going in, it's about staying. The main thing is to have the grit to stay, the determination to stay. That's one thing that a lot of people who actually came to me, like my friends, I want to open, I see you make Nasi Lemak, you success. I want to open a burger shop. I want to open a Nasi Lemak shop also with you. And I'm happy. I say, okay, I can share with you because it's not a secret. But can you stay? And
can you tahan?
And I tell them the brutal truth. If you can tahan, then you can most probably succeed. Yeah.
it's a grind, it's a journey.
It's a grind, that's the word. It's a grind.
Entrepreneurship, right? Yeah.
It's not easy, man.
So, Noorman, you are a leader that usually operates your business through a very strong business acumen, intuition, and from the heart. But apart from that, what is one or two key KPI that you always track as a business owner? What is one or two things that, there's a lot of things that the financial report come in, but what's that one or two thing that is the most important to you to keep track of when managing about 20 outlets and more? What is that metric that's most important for
To
you?
be honest with you guys, when I started, I'm not really in tune to this kind of metrics or statistics or KPIs and all that. It's more of a gut feeling,
Right.
And I'm very very factual about my ability and the quality that I'm serving. So if it's not nice, I'll be the first to say it's not nice. I'll be the first to throw it away. Right? Even though some like my staff say, "Boss, this chicken wing is okay for me. It's not okay. No, don't serve it." So we or myself have to be very hard on ourselves to say I'm not good.
Right.
Okay. First, we have to be able to say that, and if we accept that we are not good first, and then we can improve. That's for me. That's my KPI. Is to say no if it's not good.
Right.
So if I'm able to say this food is good, then maybe 80% of people will say it's good, and that's good enough for me.
Right.
So when we introduced Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang, it's actually 6 months of R&D.
Right.
We serve to so many people. We changed recipes maybe about 15 times.
You have
and all
to
that.
iteration,
And finally I said, okay, we can go through this, and we will name ourselves Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang. And I kid you not, on that first day I cried. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
So on the first day I cried, and I told my staff, we are going to be legendary. So sorry,
Don't worry about it.
just thinking about the first day.
It's always that first step.
The first step, So I told my staff, we're going to be legendary, Okay, you mark my words. Those who stay with me, we'll ride the wave together. And okay, I guess I have a feeling we are on the way there. We'll be there. Together with Staffany.
Together one day. These are some of the things that I also try to tell my team, and hopefully one day I can share the same story like you did. But yeah, I think that angle actually is about that relentless pursuit for excellence, right? Making sure that the quality is good, up to standard, high bar, even if it's cost wastage and all. We need to waste because it's poor quality. We have to reflect and make that mistake not again, right? And fix it, right?
Correct.
And I think that's the reason how you make a sustainable and a growing business by word of mouth, because that's where people share and talk about the amazing experience, and that's the best type of marketing we all can have.
Yes.
Right? When people share with their friends and say, "Hey, have you tried this place? Gila, the nasi lemak mixed with the taliwang together. Wow, mantap, best dish ever," right? So, sikit-sikit lah, yeah. So, what I think is a big learning here for the rest of the entrepreneurs in the room is, yes, financial metrics and KPI is very important. We need to get there for a profitable business, but in F&B, without quality, without people coming back, we don't need to even talk about those metrics. Those metrics will also be
it's secondary. After 10 outlets,
right.
Then I started to think that we need to be more proper and more precise in our spending, right? So that's when we came up with certain structures to benchmark where our limits are based on, let's say rentals, staff costs, food costs. So we have a certain metric now, with the help of course Dennis and also a few of my other staff, that we benchmark against So let's say rental, if it's a certain metrics or certain percentage from our proposed sales, then we won't take it.
Got it. If you are able to share, would you be able to share some direction on that? Like what kind of ratio? Is it like, for rental, it cannot be more than 1/3 of a target or something? What's that benchmark that you can share? Not too precise, but agak-agak in that sense.
No issues with that. I mean, it's nowadays KPIs are so well studied. If you Google KPI for a food kiosk, it'll come up. So for us, based on our experience, for rental, we should not go over 23-24%.
That's very precise.
That's on a high side already. Yeah, because we don't sell contrary to what people think about our price, right? We are actually not the most expensive. There are
$6
much
to
more
$8,
people.
yeah?
There are brands who are selling maybe 20% higher than
Yeah.
us. Yeah. But that's the cost. Even for like staff cost, we try to cap it at about 23% around there.
Right.
Food cost is the most challenging.
Yes.
Even though we are trying to push it all the way down, a respectable amount would be 35%. A more realistic amount, 35%. If you go over at 40, then you have to really think about what you need to cut. If not, it's not sustainable or it's not worth it to do it. Yeah.
I really appreciate your sharing over here. Moving on to helping you scale your business, what is one investment you did, whether is it digitalization or business transformation or something that enabled you to scale? What's something that you did that was successful to help you become 10 to 20?
So it's very important that we trust ourselves. So this is the first one. I trust myself, and I also trust myself of my weaknesses. Right? Like I said just now, I'm more of a gut feeling people, not a numbers people. So when someone like Dennis was interested to join the business, and I see his acumen in business, I have to accept it that this guy is better than me.
In some aspects.
In some aspects, in the corporate side, in that aspect. So that's the first thing. You must trust yourself, not just your strength and your weakness. You must tell yourself, I'm weak in this, I need help.
Right.
So no man is an island.
Right.
That's the first one. The second one is of course digitalization. So that's why we engaged Staffany, I think last year. I really feel that we need something that can help ease our like daily rostering, all those MCs, check-in, check-out and all this. So before that, there's no price system, right? We use WhatsApp, live location.
Right.
You check in, your live location, okay, you are here. But that's so tedious, right? So I have to check. If I have 50 staff, then 50 times I have to check. So with Staffany, that breaks down a lot of our things, even our sales per hour, per manpower per hour. So this is very good. Now we can compare between outlets, and we know which outlet is having high efficiency, low efficiency, or this outlet has a lot more staff based on this KPI metrics. Then we can always reduce staff, put it somewhere where we need.
Exactly.
Okay? So this is really good. So this actually helps my team analyze which outlet is good, which outlet is not good in terms of making sales.
Right.
Yeah. Secondly, like you say again, automation of equipment.
Right.
So as much as we can, we outsource the tedious part of cooking to a central kitchen, because they have the bigger machines, right? They cook maybe tons in an hour.
Of course.
For us, we cook in kilos in an hour. So that doesn't make sense. So we save on the manpower on that. So going forward, more automation, more digitalization.
I see. Is there any one or two partners or products that you want to shout out to share to the rest of the followers that you think are good people they can look into? Any products or?
Obviously, number one is Staffany. You have to use them because their products are really affordable if you break down per employee, right? It's really affordable, and not because he's interviewing me.
Thank you.
Really because this is the one. That's why I'm happy to be here to be talking to Janson. Second one, what we're trying out now is with TapSquare.
Okay, TapSquare.
TapSquare, they have impressed us with their data collection.
Right.
And we are in the first phase of doing a few projects with them, a few outlets. That's about it for now. These two companies that are helping us. Hopefully, we can gather more data to help us to scale.
Awesome. Before I move to the last section of the rapid fire, what is one prediction you have about this industry or F&B or the next year that you think will happen? And anything you want to share as a general comment about food and beverage before moving to the last section of our show?
There's no doubt that in the F&B business, even though it's physically demanding, right, there'll be less people working in the F&B industry. Right. There'll be more automation, and maybe sooner rather than later there'll be robots serving us, and cooking for us. And that is the way it is going to be, especially in Singapore where manpower is very scarce and very expensive now. So that's the way that I see it is going, and we have to embrace that. There's no way that if you don't do that, you will be left behind.
100%, 100%. And not everybody can work 10, 12 hours shift making the sambal from scratch. So definitely that automation is very, very important. Okay, so this is the most fun part of our show. It's basically the rapid fire questions. Rapid fire question, basically, don't think so much. Okay. First word come out, first sentence come, first phrase come out, can already. And we're going to ask a few of them just to, let people know you a little bit better. All right. So are we ready?
Ready.
Awesome. Okay, question number 1. Who is someone in the industry whom you follow and learn a lot from?
My dad.
Who is someone that if you have a chance to meet for dinner, to learn from, to learn about how to scale your business in the industry, who would that person be?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, learning how he scaled all the way from all his restaurants around the world, right? That's really, really crazy. What is one piece of advice you wish someone had given you right before you start up?
Think about the staff cost.
Think about the staff cost. Awesome. If let's say you have your son or your daughter or your loved one want to go into F&B, what will you advise them? Come, just join. Super. If you're in your own restaurant now, all right, and then perhaps you had a very long day, and then you're very, very hungry, what is that comforting meal you will order or scoop for yourself?
Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang, man.
How many ayam sambal and what? What's the combi? You must share the package.
Freshly cooked nasi lemak, freshly cooked egg with the wobbly eggs, egg yolk.
Right.
Freshly grilled chicken lathered with taliwang sauce. Walao, yeah.
Amazing.
All freshly cut cucumbers. Walao,
Sure. How many pieces of chicken?
Chicken, one half lah. Yeah, that's what I have lah.
Awesome. So, Noorman, we always like to pay it forward in this ecosystem and industry. So, would you be willing to offer one mentorship session to one of the lucky commentators of our talk show over Zoom or coffee?
Of course, why not? I'm always free to share our struggles and our advice to anyone who's willing.
That is awesome. How would someone interested in your brand best follow your story as well as your expansion?
Well, guys, follow us on Instagram with our tag Nasi Lemak Ayam Taliwang.
That's super awesome. With that, we come to the end of our show. So, Noorman, is there any final thing you'd like to share with everybody else?
Believe in yourself and don't give up.
So here we have it. We have the Chief Bapak Officer for the House of Brands, Noorman Mubarak, over here today with the Brick Mortar Cloud podcast. And we hope you enjoyed this series as much as we did.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, everybody.